This would be 3v3 League Season 8, Best of 5, 3rd Division Playoff Final. It's Toxic Sip Pickers versus Max Power's team, which is GDR Boys. GDR. Right, this is the map draft. As you can see, they've got one pick first. First pick for Hopsy's team. Toxic Sip Pickers picking Adriatic Islands. Whereas our friends from GDR follows up with Maghreb. A popular pick for this season, I think. It's been played a fair bit. And then proceeding to the bands, Fortress is off the menu, as is Land Menace, so the most open and most closed maps out of the equation. Here comes Socotra, quite open and chaotic map. And Compass for Max Power's team, which is a Nomad hybrid start. Could also be chaotic, because it depends on where you decide to land, to be honest. Hello, Crazy Joe. Good to see you. Migration, also banned, as is Serengeti, another open land map, and finally leaving us with the closed map, The Wall, to begin with. Kind of an arena-like map, but obviously doesn't play out quite similarly. It's a huge wall in the middle, otherwise you have resources on either side. Lots of monks, not too uncommonly seen on this map. Castle drops as well. We'll see what to make of it as we move on to the Civilization Draft. What are we going to see for The Wall here? I don't know. I've never played that map, but Bohemians strikes me as a good one. Lithuanians, almost pretty much of a go-to as well, because Lithuanians, although good for hybrid maps, they also got that relic boost up to until 4 relics to boost their attack on their Elitis and Knights line. And the relics are just easily gathered on The Wall, as there are like 8 relics on either side. So maybe we could speculate Lithuanians, Bohemians, Bengalis first. No, Bengalis could be a hybrid map save actually. But Lithuanians, Bohemians, Hindustanis comes to mind. Yeah, remains to be seen. Cumans, probably for The Wall as well, as they could easily pull off the feudal 2TC boom uncontested on that map. Or for super fast up, perhaps, but Cumans, Turks pretty decent as well, and Portuguese come to mind. Guess we'll just hop into it and see what they brought us for The Wall. Part 1, first game. Let's go. Okay, so someone's posted the restore file. For fuck's sake, check your recorded games before uploading them. How hard can it be? Suppose this is the same file then. Let's try this one. Part 2. Okay, so they've got naming the order of them wrong. Check your regs before posting. It's not that hard. Open the file, check, is this the correct one? Am I going to upload a restore? Maybe make sure to name them in the correct order. Suppose we kind of got some spoilers there, but this is the first game. Let's set the names of the teams. And this is the third division. This is, yeah, let's just call them TCP for short, and GDR. Save some space here. It's a best of 5. The Wall comes up first, and we will need to retrieve that restore later on. Here we go. TCP on the top side here with Astro in the Lithuanians pocket. While Lithuanians just look at the relics here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 relics. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 relics on either side. That's just ridiculous, to be fair. But it's a gold boost as you gather them along the game. And this Gaia wall in the middle stays there until broken from either side. Suppose you could theoretically punch through with villagers in the Dark Age into Feudal Age, but that's just not going to pay off on a map like this. So much open space, it's not confined like Arena. Left side, Mertar Suslu with the Aztecs. Probably got some monks in mind here, maybe Eagle Warriors for raiding as well. And yeah, good economy for any map. The Aztecs brings in an additional bit of resources from the ferry gets called. Let's see how the quick ball skills work here. Oh, not looking too pretty. Gonna lose a villager early on. Are we blocking it? Are we blocking it? Are we blocking it? Nope, she's dead. Huh? Good save, I guess. Are you gonna bring your pick up though? What do you have? I mean, she's not in any danger for the first 20 minutes, but still. Good save, I guess. Some Dark Age action there. It's got quite a walk to get to the woodland, but they do get there. To the right side, we have Sapient Fez with the Bohemians. Strong gunpowder units. Strong anti-cavalry with the extra bonus damage for the Spearman line. But it's going to be the Hofnies or maybe the unique unit, the Hussite wagons we're going to see from Sapient Fez here. Let's have a look at GDR on the other side. Mark Landers going for the Turks here. Probably got some fast Imperial Age in mind. The Turks can pull that off on the closed maps as they get to the Imperial Age and don't need to research chemistry to access hand cannoneers and bomber cannons. So they get a strong power spike with the early Imperial Age play. In the middle, on the wall, we have Griffiths with the Slavs. Looks like they're streaming on Twitch as well. Like some sneak commercial here, but why not? Check them out, I guess. Linking the Twitch in the name of that. I used to do that as well. Felt kind of silly, but it provided some interesting post-game talk in Ranked, to put it that way. Well, so with these Slavs, good pockets, great farming. Boyar's unique cavalry unit kind of replacing the Paladin. And not to mention the Druzhina infantry in the Imperial Age could be strong against the Lithuanians here, especially, I guess, or Aztecs, actually, Aztecs. If you get Druzhina champions against Aztecs Eagles or Aztecs infantry in general, there's not that much you can do. Left side, Noddy Heidi as the Cumans. That has to be the Cuman 2CT, 2TC. Fuel Age boom here. Because you are going to go uncontested for a long while on this map. This beautiful wall in the middle with double up some places, but not everywhere. So you gotta scout for the weak points to see what to do as you go here. We're gonna speed this one up a little bit because there's not going to be anything happening until at least the Castle Age here, most likely, unless you count the Feudal Age boom from the humans. Now going up at 20 villagers here for Nonody Heidi. Collecting some wood from stragglers. Place that second TC on the stone on woodland there, good TC spot, and kickstart that multiple villagers production as only humans can do in the feudal age. 20 something population in 24 for Metar Suslu. And yeah, fast Castle Age approach for the rest of the people here. So relatively early one for the Aztecs. Not going to stones, there's going to be monks here, probably pretty heavy on the gold. They will need to break through the wall somehow, but someone else could handle that. As you can see, Sapient Fez is on stone, so Sapient Fez is going to go for some castle drop shenanigans here. I suppose we'll slow this one down a bit now, as the monasteries are going up. Sapient Fez here with the villagers to drop the first castle. I mean, these are Gaia walls, so you can't really, you have to scout what's going on here actively if you want to see, look out for something happening. It's a castle drop for GDR as well, but that's in a different spot, so there shouldn't be any issues for TCP to break through from this angle. Aztecs could of course add some Eagle Warriors at some point as well to go for some raids in the enemy bases, but I think we'll leave that to the Lithuanians cavalry for this one. There's 2 town centers now for Astro. Lithuanians also have a really good boom with the additional gold, food, sorry, they're granted once they reach, or once they build a new town center. Third monastery going up here. No research is made just yet, but forever research the monks get in the monastery from the Aztecs. They will get an additional 5 hit points. So So, walls go down relatively quickly here. Only 1080 hit points. You can't really quick wall behind this either. Because, well, the castle fire would prevent that from happening. So, I suppose the Bohemians and Aztecs play here is to obstruct and delay the opposing team as much as possible, so that Astro gets the uncontested boom and can overwhelm the other side with the +4 relics. Lithuanians counting no monastery just yet. Ah, wait, there it is. 2 relics collected already, so almost instant +4 attack boom for the Lithuanians in this case. Stream monks are out. Some builders trying to move towards the middle, so struggling a bit with the scouting here for GDR. They didn't quite see this coming. In fact, they haven't seen the castle drop. They are going to punch through with the Turks here. And I said fast imp, not quite the case. It's going to be the Slavs pushing with Monsters. I thought the Slavs would be mainly booming here, but double Monsters for the Slavs as well. Some Janissaries are out, but now they are on the defensive here because TCP broke through first here. Now they still need to scout the opposing side because they don't really know much about the opponent's locations and where to hit, but looks like they're going straight for the pocket to set back the Slavs here. Third TC going up. I'm not sure if that's the right call because now they're leaving the Cumans somewhat alone here. The Cumans have been freely booming for, well, thus far in the game. They're now at nearly 50 villagers, which is well ahead of everyone else. Definitely getting some damage done here though, and converting 3 Janissaries as well. And already a second castle drop from Sapiens Fest, so not wasting any time here, going straight for the continued aggression right on the pocket. They will need to deal with the series of Marklanders, but I suppose if the Lithuanians player is patient here and just passes up some knights with the soon-to-be +4 attack from the relics, they could actually deal with small groups of Janissaries like this, with the Lithuanians cavalry alone. So not necessarily any reason to stress out about that just yet. There are more Lithuanians knights out and about than compared to the Cumans. And Sapien Fest also chose to place the castle even a little bit closer after having further scouted the opposing base. It's going to hit not just one town center of the Slavs, but 2 of them, which significantly setbacks the farming economy here. Although farming economy not the most important economy at this point. Griffiths is going for the monks, so you need to hit the gold income as well. But we're gonna get there. Just 250 stone shy of another castle drop for Sabian Fest as well, so good aggression going on here. Meanwhile, at home base we see the Aztecs player adding more town centers behind this monks. Push 10 monks on the out and about. Did get some upgrades in as well. 4 hit points. And, well, movement speed, these kinds of things. Gets some light cap, there's conversions in, but monks going down quickly here. That's almost all of the Aztecs monks down to relatively few of the light cap of Nonodihide. So Nonodihide making the right call here, going for the light cap to deal with the monks push over the Aztecs. Some conversions, yes, but you need to get convert more knights here to clean up the light cab switch, should we say, from Nonodihide. And it's not the most convincing monks push from Mertarsuslu either. Well, we know that they were able to restore it, so let's just pick up where we left off. Now we're going to go for part 1, which is part 2. Remember to rename the games as is applicable, guys. But where we left off, not losing too much here. Restoring from what looks like a slightly earlier point in the game, perhaps. Not hugely low TCP. Well, to be fair, Thieves are even a match here in overall population, both in military and economy. But TCP are the aggressors, they are pushing. And the outside wagon numbers are ever increasing out of for a moment there. It looked like 2 castles, but it's only one of them producing, and that's the furthest away one is. Oh, there's 3 castles. There's one at home as well. Wow. Sapien Fest with the defensive castle at home to keep any potential Janissary aggression out here. Astro might actually get a warning here. Astro with 5 knights at home. They have the +4 attack. They have a tiny bit of upgrades otherwise as well. The first defense upgrade. Down goes the monk. 5 knights against 9 Janissaries. But there are some monks joining in from Griffiths as well. Not a great fight for our teal player here. If he decides to take it, it's gonna need some help. Some Hussite wagons join in. And unless redemption is in for Griffiths, the Hussite wagon can't be converted here. Pulling them away, I think that's a good call. Waiting for just a few more. Adding some scouts or light cab here might be a way to go as well, as Astro is getting devotion and atonement, so that Astro can convert opponent monks, and meanwhile, while getting devotion, also increases the conversion time needed for the opponent to get damage in here. Ooh, that castle foundation is ambitious from Griffiths, to say the least. We'll have to survive. We'll have to sacrifice a lot of villagers to get that one up. Lots of monks from the yellow player. Is that enough though? Looks like redemption's in. One house of wagon gets converted. And as far as economy goes, GDR are getting kind of an advantage here. They certainly have the military advantage. More cavalry from the pocket by small but important margins here. Down goes the stable as Astro decides to delete the stable rather than allowing it to be converted by the opponent. Will lose the relics advantage as well if this building goes down. And the front aggression doesn't look to be going too well for TCP anymore. They need to defend at home, and the Cumans cavalry, uncontested Cumans boom there, is becoming more and more dangerous as we go. Cavalry numbers increasing, light cab mixed in to deal with any opponent monks here from the Aztecs. Aztecs player, what's the plan now? Getting some barracks, we'll go for that Eagle switch, Eagle Warrior. They also have some conversion resistance, but Eagle Warriors against Janissaries, I mean gunpowder itself, as I suppose Janissaries don't really have bonus damage against infantry, but they still have such high damage output that they'll easily deal with relatively slowly moving infantry units. Shouldn't take more than 3 Janissaries to one-shot an Eagle Warrior, maybe 4. Assuming they hit, which they don't always do, of course. But oh, Marklanders attempting a castle here, but decides otherwise will cover some actual resources instead. So pulling the Janissaries home for now. Did not get to build that castle in the middle. Some huge trades going on to the left-hand side here. Marklanders with the Janissaries. My cards just being to be won here. There's not that much military to help either. There are 8 knights. What's the relics situation? Still got that relics advantage because the monastery didn't quite go down. But GDR convincingly leading in the military numbers here now, and the villager population is well ahead. They managed to boom comfortably behind this, better than their aggressive opponents here. Janissaries outranging the town center by 1 here, so they're effectively idling lots of the economy here of the grey player, having lost 26 villagers thus far, but did replenish them as well at 62 villagers total now. Sapien Fest going for Imperial Age with the Bohemians now. May already have chemistry researched maybe, or will be getting it on the way to the Imperial Age to immediately have access to the gunpowder units for the Bohemians as well. Armic out stabilizing, but GDR certainly with a convincing economic lead here, but will the Imperial Lich change that, perhaps? I mean, Sapient Fest has a forward castle here, could make trebuchets right in the face of Griffiths, and that at the very least that would force some of the cavalry to return home. This is a horrible fight for Astro, even going with some first wagons here. This should not go the way of TCP. Extra attack for the Lithuanians. Trading better than I thought they would be, but with some hit and run from the Janissaries here, most of the cavalry is going to go down. Does replenish the cavalry behind this, so maybe, after all, this is more than a decent fight. I guess I was underestimating the Lithuanians' extra attack here. Lots of Janissaries going down for Marklanders. Cumans going Imperial Age behind this as well, so going to get to Cavalier and potentially Paladin well ahead of Astro's Lithuanians here. That's a bit of an issue. Trebuchet immediately queued by Sapient. Let's see if he goes for the very first Trebuchet immediately. I guess you could snipe this castle foundation with that Trebuchet. Wagon defense against the Husband Wagons. Have to be careful here. Sapient will not get to deny that castle foundation. Second Trebuchet in the queue as well. Not something you want to send unprotected from this area. Monks being caught off guard here as well. There's castle fire, but the monks won't be getting the conversions in here. Where is Gray's attention when it needs to be? They're going to garrison inside the castle, aren't they? First rev out. Covered by castle fire. So set wagons going down again. But here come the Janissaries from behind as well. They could technically snipe this trebuchet from behind. More town centers popping up at TCP's side. They are lagging behind in the progress towards Imperial Age, as Griffiths is just about to go up to the Imperial Age as well. Smart move with the Magnons to the side. They're just outside of castle range, I think, but it's spotted in time by Sapient Faz. Does not queue any more trebuchets. And will need to target fire with the castle zero. I think the castle... Sorry, the trebuchet goes down here. Oh, it doesn't! The Magnon misses! Now it's gonna hit that last one. Both trebs down. Bad news for Sapient Fest. Does manage to get one castle down, though. 6 knights for Astro now heading towards Imperial Age, but look at the Cavalier count of the Cumans. It's higher, but it's Cavalier and it's about to become Paladin as well, and they also move 5% faster than the Lithuanians ones. We'll see if that makes a difference as we go. Masonry coming in to strengthen the buildings for Astro, because why not? Fearing a siege push maybe from the other side. Down goes... How did that go down? Ah, bomber cannons from the Turks, of course. So finally making use of that Turks Imperial Age as well. Still some monks out and about, nothing too significant. Barracks producing infantry units. Pikes going to become halberdiers in the Imperial Age. And since the castle is up, we could expect to see the Regina being researched as well, if the economy allows, and it doesn't look too shabby. 5 relics for Griffiths as well, not to be underestimated, that passive gold income. And the Cumans' ever-increasing military of cavalry is looking scary as well. So yellow finally in the Imperial Age as well. And TCP is still lagging behind that progress. Will that Lithuanians extra 4 attack be enough to take a reasonable fight? I mean, the Paladins are higher in number. Surely with this kind of hit points difference and stats difference, even that 4 extra attack won't help you very much. Good defense from GDR. Can't say much else than that. Lots of human stables out now, at least almost 10 of them, I think so. Pretty consistent production of Paladins here. The economy not suffering at all just yet, but that goes for both teams. They've still got economies running efficiently at home and they're all fully boomed, so this game could still go either way. And I feel like for the late game, GDR have better civilization because Aztecs in the very late game, should this go to a point where the gold runs lower or completely out, then the Aztecs are going to suffer from not having strong enough trash unit options. Some monk sounds in the middle of this, but it's not going to be enough to offset this fight. Full-on nightcap for Nono di Heidi now, for maybe because of the monks investment of the Aztecs, probably because of the monks investment. But now looks like it's about to snowball out of control for TCP. They're struggling to keep up with the military numbers. They're still behind in the economy by 50, 60 villagers-ish. Outpost on the side for some vision across the walls, just in case the opposing team wants to break through at a different angle. I guess a smart move, but maybe not a top priority at this point. It's going to be a fight for the middle, as Nono di Heidi got a castle in the middle over here. More barracks coming up closer to the front line from Griffiths as well. And last infantry attack upgrade coming in here as well, full on halberdiers. Maybe some champions eventually for the Slavs as well. I think we're going to need fast to bring some Bohemians gunpowder to the party here. I mean, maybe get to Hoofneeds, the resource situation not looking too pretty for the time being. Neither team seems to have thought about any trade investment just yet, but they'll make do with the resources so far. Still go to... Ah, wait, there's a little bit of trade going on here. Can't really see where they're but it's something. 7 trade cards for Nono di Heidi. Elite Janissaries now increasing the range to 8 and increasing their attack as well. Beastly unit in large enough mass. Looks like the monks investment isn't going to pay off anymore for Grey either. Still keeps skewing them, but at this rate the gold is going to run out, and I mean there's still some patches to the side, but it's like 4,800 gold over there. That could be sneakily taken until GDR realize that, but yeah, your attempts needs to be in the middle now anyway. Hand cannoneers going to supplement the Janissaries armies now for the Turks. There are 3 castles to produce the Janissaries, so I don't really see why hand cannoneers are being added now. Maybe they're cheaper. Easier to mass, as you could just place more rangers to pump them out. Slow push through the middle here. Stables going up for Lithuanians. Want to pump out some more of these Hussars. Gold, only 7 gold miners, which means that the cavalry units are going to be trash units from the Lithuanian player for a while until a trade line can be established, and they've sort of seized the corners now. We're gonna need some markets on the other side as well for this work though. So yeah, and it still takes time for that gold income to kick in. Meanwhile, GDR placing more castles in the middle. Humans pumping out the siege units now. Also committed to trash, to be fair, only 133 gold, but now with increasing trade count for GDR. Only one market on one side. So slowly increasing the trade numbers, but that's also going to kick in earlier than it can for TCP. So it's going to come down to the gold axis here. Griffiths at this point, when they're all in the village, Sling is unrestricted. So at this point, Griffiths should definitely consider sharing the resources for continued gold units production until the trade can kick in. So many resources in the bank for yellow here, and they don't seem to be communicating that all that well. If you're floating resources like this, definitely consider slinging some to keep the momentum going. And that gold count is of course because of the relic situation over here as well, which to be fair is the case for the Lithuanians and Aztecs as well, so they have been making use of that passive gold income. Not nearly enough halberdiers and pikemen for TCP to deal with the raids here, so that's going to be a pain as the game goes on here. Humans Hussars, they move quickly. If Step Hunter is in as well, they're going to run fast across the map as well. Or not run faster, but they're going to produce much faster, so you can spam them out a lot faster and hit basically everywhere. GDR slowly creeping up the map, and they're dealing swiftly with production buildings and defensive fortifications here as well. Only raiding the Grey Player for now, though. So, Nono the Heidi could certainly be hitting more players as they go here. I think they've discovered a trade by now. Wait, the market is just about to go up. TCP need to get that going. Is Star Wars in for the Aztecs? It is indeed. Is it? This. So, extra attack for the pikemen on the Aztecs. That's out here for sure. Maybe this isn't, because there isn't any Aztecs castle anywhere here. Sure, all of the wars for the extra infantry attack is actually in. More castles at home for Griffiths. I think that's mainly to protect the trade line going on here. It's not... I mean, it's going basically as far as it can at this point, but it's not going to be bringing that much gold per trip as if you have the full length of the map. So the trade line of TCP is better in that regards. They have almost the full spread of the map, but that doesn't help when they're being constantly raiding and they're going to lose their newly produced trade units. In fact, Sabian Test the only one with trade units access. Well, GD is called. First game goes to GDR. We'll have a look at the stats, but keep in mind there was a restore, so don't trust the stats completely. Just get some idea here. Heal Force was research. It's a smart one from Astro to limit the raids. Impact of the raids. So this is just from the 24-minute mark, still pretty convincing KD from both the Turks and Cumans here. Better economy overall for GDR. They did manage to boom better and establish a fluent economy. Good first game on the neutral map. Will likely be moving to Adriatic Islands next. Humans. And for the wall, neutral map down. We could be seeing Socotra, of course, but I expect we'll see Adriatic Islands first. In which case, it would be. I mean, you could go for Italians for Compass as well, but we like Italians, Dravidians. And then maybe a good land cavalry civilization like Georgians or Magyars or any of these could go into play. Romans maybe for the both the naval and land bonuses, like good naval fighting, but still got some good cavalry options or even infantry options on that. So maybe Romans, Italians, Japanese, or some such. Saracens, faster firing galleys, Byzantines, fire galleys, both attack faster, good synergy there. And both would do pretty nice on land as well, with access to arbalests or Byzantines with all the counters. So I think those two, and then a Berbers or Franks pocket for some cavalry power. Let's just dive into it and see what they have brought us, if it is indeed Adriatic Islands for game 2. And it's not, it's Socotra, so my guesses are out the window. Should be an eventful one, even though it's there's more space to work with than in the 1v1 version. It's been a while since I've seen a 3v3 Socotra, so I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a fight for the resources. It's going to be early laming. And as you can see, the scouts moving straight out to try and spot the opposing side's elephants, assuming they've found their own nice and early. Hopsy doesn't even care what it looks like, it's just going to go straight for the lame. Unfortunately for Hopsy, the elephant is on the other side. He's going to spot his own and will need to stay home and block it. Thanks for stopping by, Joe. Crazy Joe. Appreciate that. Yeah, elephant being brought in. Should be fine. Should be fine. Let's see if Tarsuslu in the teal has more luck. Also brought in the elephant. I think all of the flags got away with not getting lamed here. For the classic walling in the berries move here. Often seen also got to deny the resources you can wall in berries and stones and whatnot. Thanks for the follow, Danage 24. Hopsy, no loom for Hopsy, no loom. Griffiths obviously has it, going for the lame approach here, still commits villagers to fight. Loom is in. Okay, so it was just missing Loom for the fight. Scout goes down, green comes to join in. Did they get any villagers? Yet, not yet. But Griffiths' villager is living dangerously, but it successfully idles Hopsy's economy quite a bit, as well as these two villagers chase and will keep chasing. Eagle Scout could go down here if Green box it, but they have to be wary of towns at the fire as well. Here comes the Scout, can't really do much. Hopsy found some hunt, will at least lame the zebras so Griffiths can't pull those back home. Flaring on to the other side here, teal fighting yellow, but purple comes in to join as well. 2 scouts versus 1, not a great fight for Tarsuslu. Squidball in the villager cleverly here, but she's stuck. She's not going to be putting in any work for the money for a while yet. Or villager fighting in the middle. First villager blood, gonna go down now. One more hit for Astro, goes down, getting the elevation advantage even. And Hopsy gets away with no villagers lost thus far. Saves the scout yet again, gets some more hits in on the villager, again idling that forward villager of Griffiths, not successfully walling all of the berries as well, so there's that food income for our Blue friend conserved. Same with Mertarsuslu, doesn't succeed in walling in the berries. Did go for the pockets berries first. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't complete them. It's almost a waste of villager working time at this point. As none of the Heidi keeps chasing, wants to commit against this villager. Probably not going to get it though. Oh, some ambitious walling from Hopsy here. Going pretty far out with the walls, wants to secure the berries, I guess. That's far out. Really far out. So, not the most efficient berry picking you'll ever see, but retasking the builder to the left side. So anyone going through late share, the pockets up. Magyar's pocket, we didn't even talk about the civilizations in this section, but Magyar's going to go for the scouts here. 15% cheaper scout, instant attack upgrades, not costing you anything from the blacksmith. Again, ambitious walling here to the sides, but if they get to kind of almost completing the walls in towards the middle here, that's significantly limiting the raiding and attack potential of the GDR here. Up times from the pockets is, funnily enough, it's faster for Marklanders. It's probably because of the Mongols hunting bonus bringing in the food more quickly, going up at actually a higher population, but then probably lower ILTC time, making the difference here. Astro has had 53 seconds, probably because of some having to lame or stop some laying, some micromanagement interfering with the situation here. Double ranges for Marklanders. I said the pocket's going up, but that's not quite the case. So Bulgarian's pocket from GDR and none of the Heidi actually lagging significantly behind the Magyars player to that. Walls far from complete for GDR, so the Magyars scouts opening will certainly have some potential here. And the walls also completing decently, so if the plan from the Bulgarians is indeed scouts as well, then that's going to struggle to do anything at this point with the walls nearly complete already. Archers, however, are not hindered by walls in the same way, so Astro might get pulled away from the berries over here. Stable for the Bulgarians as well. Long term could place castles and their posts for conic production. Let's see if that's the case. Fletching also in for the Mongols. Strong double range opening here, consistent production. Double ranges also for the Britons. Long term, the Britons will win any archers battles against generic archers because they are extra range. But in the feud late, of course, they're dead even. And for the time being, the Mongols player is ahead with Fletching already in defensing tower. Only one going to be afforded here by the Ethiopians. Ethiopians can also put up a fight here with faster firing archers, we'll see. Somehow, TCP have managed to pull off these rather greedy walls in the middle. Are they too greedy though? We'll see if GDR's armies break through. But now with the walls up, it makes it a lot easier for TCP to coordinate. They could pull all three of their armies together. Which would increase their archers' mass overall. scouts numbers dead even. But they are cheaper for the Magyars, which would make it easier to get to the castle age earlier for Astro. Then as far as bonuses go, the Ethiopians also have faster firing archers. You can see the archers moving in closer to the blue ones here, teal and blue, gathering up their forces to match the numbers of Marklanders. Of course, our Inca's friend here is also producing the archers. Not quite there yet. Going for stone walls to completely seal in the base of the left-hand side here. Right. More scouts overall for the Bulgarians, but that isn't necessarily ideal against the Magyars, investing less and getting to the castle age with the stronger knights. Delivery through though. No upgrades as of yet. But again, coordinating the armies here as well. Astro joining in from behind, but stronger scouts, and at this particular place also stronger numbers. Big fight in the middle coming now with more hit points and numbers overall for GDR. Upgrades pretty similar for the armies, but will we have our blue friend joining in here as well? Coming in from behind for Hopsy wins here. Ethiopians managing to pull back to home base. Oh, suddenly Hopsy is in danger here with the Archer Mass. Unless this is all a planned approach to gather armies. Look how even it is in numbers and hit points here. Take that. It's going to come down to micromanagement of arms at this point. None of the Hiders seems to be getting some great trades with these scouts here. Still pretty even in hit points. More archers for TCP by the looks of it, just marginally. They have to deal with the scouts in front first though. GDR choose to pull away. It would be an even fight. It would still be winnable for GDR, but it's also a smart call to pull away and wait for more reinforcement to get a more favorable fight overall. Let's remember, still pretty even. GDR again at some kind of economic advantage here. Didn't take any particular damage to home base after the lanes. You see only one builder killed here, so the different economy comes from idle town center time exclusively. .543. Now for this game, it's again, you don't really see Sokotra games going to the very super late game, but should it do so, even if Sokotra is a relatively tiny map, I would favor TCP's civilizations more for the late game compared to GDR here. Well, you have Mongols and Bulgarians Hussars, but Incas, what do they bring to the field in a goal-less game? Late game, and Sokotra having the small distances also wouldn't yield very good trade. throughout the game. Athlete just kicking in here. Another advantage for the Britons already with, well, I mean, it's on the way. But when they get there, they're going to get that +1 range. I misjudged the colors there. It is indeed the Ethiopians up first. They do fire faster though, Ethiopians. Faster firing archers, and they will be able to trade decently, even in slightly lower mass here compared to the other sides. Frost was 20 to 16, but then you had 20% firing, fast firing archers for the Ethiopians, and another group joining in here as well. So the overall archers count just slightly ahead for GDR. They need to stay collected for it to work out though. Gas stage in for our yellow pocket as well. Magyars access to paladins. Bulgarians don't, but they do have conics, which essentially have 2 lives, which also helps out in the fighting. GDR found a weak spot, but they are going to have to pass through fields TC over here to get to the core economy on the other sides of the base. Hopsy keeping the army size consistent here, didn't take needless losses, and will now have that extra British range that I mentioned earlier on to potentially take some good fights from a distance against the other armies here. Vodkin crossbow need to kick in first for that to be realistic though. Fully upgraded Castle Age Knights for the Magyars, as only the defense upgrades need to be researched. Still missing that +2 attack for non-Heidi, but non-Heidi with slightly higher cavalry numbers. Big fight in the middle. Elevation advantage for GDR. Britain's range advantage won't necessarily help them much with dancing with the cavalry front here, but GDR not taking the bait. They are focused firing some of the knights. Such even military size and numbers here. Cavalry production seems to be more consistent for the Magyars over here, forcing a fight close to the hill over here, trying to debate the fight with the elevation advantage for TCP, and now they have the hill and they're denying that gold of Mark Ladders as well, which will quite soon impact the Archer's production of the purple player, because this is the largest pile of gold accessible. There are some small tiles in the back, but this one is about to run out. So good heal to stay on for TCP over here. Will they break through though? Breaking into the core economy of Marklanders, keeping an elevation advantage again. Britain's not getting full value from their extra range. More stable for the Magyars, no, for the Bulgarians compared to the Magyars now, 13 to 10, but that could change quickly as the Bulgarians still have a consistent double stable production here. Got more stables in the middle as well. Is it a resource issue? 18 on gold should be enough to keep 3 stables running, but 21 on food, yeah, should be enough. Just have to keep pressing that production button as a range goes down, and TTP are in for their raids. Just does not get through there. Oh, they break the Greek house, and in they are on the woodland. Good raids now from Astro. Pulling some lights in, committing to the raids here could be a good move. Splitting up the groups as well will idle a lot of the economy of Marklanders, while the rest of the team still stay on that precious hill. But taking a subpar fight now that neither team has any cavalry mixed in. So even the elevation advantage not necessarily doing enough here. Look at the populations, they're dead even in both military and economy here. This is amazing. So it's going to come down to idling the other side's economy now, because these raids need to be dealt with as well, and all of the armies of GDR are in the middle. So that's going to set them back quite a bit, as they are finally behind the builders. But that did cost TCB. It did cost over lots of their military and the production behind. suffers. But the Eco KD situation here, Astro having a good time here, idling most of the wood income of Barklanders. Maybe not the most important resource to deny at this point, but does get quite a few villager kills. Still got military in the enemy base, and will be looking for more blood now, heading towards the pocket. Top side, some crossbow raids from Griffiths. Also managing to idle some of the gold income of Nevtar Suslu. Also claiming the middle here for Griffiths with some additional gold income. Raiding party gets dealt with here. Triple ranges producing at home for the Incas player. Forward siege being added as well. Gold is an issue though. Might need to rely on some market trading here to actually produce the siege weapons here. One Magadol could do lots from the hill here, of course. Once TCP's army numbers are increasing again. Military advantage for TCP. They also managed to establish a villager's lead through all of these raids, mainly due to the 43 villagers killed by Astro. Great raids. Resource income is more consistent. TL struggling the most, but still has gold income, still has wood income. That's about all you need to keep those. Keep that crossbow production going. Twice the cavalry amount for Heidi compared to Astro. Could certainly become an issue, especially since Astro is not really keeping up the production here. Bit iffy with the gold income there. 9 on gold. Gold might be running low as well. Yeah. Don't grab any relics. If now we get time for that. Up on the hill again. Military HP advantage for TCP, but crossbows, even without hitting and running, getting great trades here. Only 4 knights left from the yellow player now. Imperial Age for Hopsy with the Britons, which will grant an additional range and also the Arbalest upgrade. Could be a real game changer here if that mass of 26 crossbows gets to live and gets to get those upgrades before engaging. Also defensive castle at home. Sort of protecting this gold as well. Only 26 villagers from Marklanders. Farming economy idled. Wood economy nearly non-existent. No gold. Not able to produce any military here. So his teammates are doing alright. Still, cavalry being produced from not only Heidi Griffiths still has resources in the bank as well, keeps 8 crossbows out of 3 ranges, but that Imperial Age though, that should be a huge warning sign for GDR. What are they going to do from there? Castle for Griffiths, that's not going to go anywhere as Imperial Age is in for the Britons, and that's just a GG point for GDR. Tapping out and calling it for a 1-1, and Socotra, the first home map, right into TCP's hands. Looked a bit rough in the start, but they managed to recover, and they certainly have the better late game civilizations, so huge part of the win was Astro's raids with cavalry inside the opponent's base. Did sacrifice Some cavalry numbers there, but also set back, especially Marklanders on the flank. A lot. You can see some huge losses at this point in the game. Mildly Imperial Age for the Britons did also have 30 plus crossbows to upgrade, and that middle castle would die to trebuchets almost immediately. More resources brought in for the Magyars, most in fact. Didn't really get threatened that much at home base. And overall better economy for TCP for this one. That's the Britons, Magyars, and what was the last one again? Ethiopians against Mongols, Bulgarians, and Incas, wherever you are. Probably chosen, among other things, for the bonus sheep you get at the start of the game, as food is often contested and rather limited on Socotra for the early game. Should be Maghreb next, perhaps. It's the first home map of GDR. But, and if that's the case, we should probably be expecting Berbers, maybe Vietnamese for the vision of starting town centers as well. And I'd honestly say maybe the Franks as well for some added mobility and strong cavalry on the field. Huns comes to mind for Maghreb, starting horse, never needing to build houses. Deep cavalry archers, faster producing cavalry. Guriars would be complementing that well with faster producing camels as well. And chakram throwers for an anti-infantry, anti-halberdier kind of unit. And then they probably want some kind of civilization to fight for water as well, and there are plenty of those here, so it could be anyone. Could be anyone. But let's go to game 3. It is indeed Maghreb. Khmer Berbers, Vietnamese, Guriars, Huns, Hindustanis. Right, so Vietnamese here for Marklanders will reveal the starting town center location of the opposing side once they have completed them. We have not only hidden with the Khmer for what I can only assume will be a super fast feudal age into a scout's opening, because the Khmer don't need any buildings to go up to the feudal age. They don't need any buildings to unlock any kind of building, so they could just go straight on building 1 or 2 stables and move out around the map. Finally, for the red player, we have Berbers coming up here. Faster moving villagers, faster moving ships for that matter as well. We could see a Berber stock up top here if these lumberjacks get their way. Maghreb, you start with a couple more villagers. It should be a 6 villager start for anyone. So Chinese comes to mind as well. Maybe Chinese got banned, I don't know. In which case you'd have 3 more villagers, which would be very strong for this battle. Let's see for TCB. Guriaros for Hopsy wins, as suspected. Some of the strongest camels in the game. And also Chakram Throwers as the unique unit. Great TC here for Astro. Double pond for the short fishing villagers here. Whelping in food super fast to begin the game. And Hindustanis, also great camels. Double up with the camels here and providing a attack bonus against buildings through the Hindustanis bonus as well for all camels and scouts line units in the game. Finally, Sapient Fence with the Huns, again synergizing well with the bonuses of Guriaras in Hindustanis, as the Huns team bonus is that stables produce 20% faster. Whereas the Huns themselves, they have cheaper cavalry archers as well, 25% cheaper. That's why they are lacking the last attack upgrade for ranged units. This map starts with a Bactria and Camel for all players as well, so you get to scout the map much more efficiently than you would on a generic Nomad start. It does speed up the early game quite a bit, so you get to scout things better. And we often see on Maghreb in the early game that one player on each team takes some responsibility to win the water, as there's some deep fish to be taken. Sort of split in four, this map, right? It's water, it's woods, it's plenty of stones to go to the left side, far left side, and then in the middle there's plenty of shorefish and some trees here and there, so you don't really need to settle near the huge woodlands early on. So the feud lages are in, at least for Sapient Fast over here. Gonna go for the stable. This is about to be only... Yeah, 2 will be spilling that one. Khmer, also with the stable, already producing the first few scouts. Halfway there with the first scout before Sapient Fest can even start producing his. And it's a double scouts approach from GDR, as they are also having the Berbers provide some scouts. A bit interesting to go for the double scouts approach here, as if the Berbers would just go or get away with a fast castle age here, they have 15% cheaper knights and camels in the castle age, so they could maybe do more damage with a fast castle cavalry approach here. But then again, you wouldn't usually go scouts or the mobility approach with the Vietnamese. They need to go for the archers. So if you have double scouts and archers and coordinate it well enough, you could still do good damage in the feudal age. First few scouts are out. Sapient Fest spotted. Nono Dihide is first one. I'm going to be chasing that one while waiting for... While Nono Dihide waits for reinforcements. 2 fire galleys for Hopsy on the water. Only 1 for Marklanders so far. So should be advantage TCP for that one. They seem to be taking a decent fight as well. Double scouts from both teams here. Astro with the Hindustani scouts. And Sapient Fest with the Hunnic scouts. We want to see Guriara scouts here as well. We are going to see Guriara scouts. It's triple scouts. Let's go. So, unless Marklanders succeeds in taking out the fish over here, there's also going to be plenty of food to easily sustain the scouts approach. Triple scouts from TCP, from what I could gather here. Could be dangerous if they are indeed allowed to get close enough. And Hopsy with 4 fire galleys out and still queuing them might be over-investing here. Maybe that's exactly what Marklanders wants here. Wants the blue player to invest a lot more into water than himself. Still only queued that 1 fire galley. But look at all the scouts in the middle here. Vietnamese with the archers. I mean, you can't really wall all the way here because of the shallows. But I also have my doubts as to how much damage these Vietnamese archers will do. They do know the town center locations because of the Vietnamese bonus. Could get some kills in on the woodland here as well, and the Sapient Fest is aware of the raids coming in. Yeah, he tries to evacuate, but where to? He needs to go to the blue town center. Loses 1. Okay, a couple of scouts out for Hopsy. Not going to be enough to deal with these archers that also have fletching in. If they had not had fletching, just a few scouts would be decent enough to clear the map. So behind this we have Astro with Hindustan is now going Castle Age, which will open up for some access to camels. And light cav for that matter. Not really any cavalry left on the field for Astro to warrant a light cav upgrade immediately here though. Seemingly an eco advantage for GDR here. 2 villagers killed, 2 villagers lost. Could be some fishing ships as part of that as well. But I like TCP's progress here. Only one player in the castle age so far. Could be... Oh. Why the scouts? The gold issue? 8 on gold. Now here come the double stable camps. There we go. Induced all these camels entering the field. Would even out the scouts fights for sure. Hopsy, being the Guerreros, could also queue camel scouts on the way to the castle age to have an instant upgrade into camels. For the camel scouts. We fight in the middle here, but that's GDR's fight to lose for sure. They have a massive hit points advantage, but if the camels join in here, then GDR have to be careful. GDR also lost the top side, which frees up the fishing column. Hopsy with 5 fishing ships should be plenty, as there are only a few patches of deep fish here in the top side, so you don't want to overinvest unless you're going to go into a fish trap boom as the game goes on. Uh-oh, some green villagers going to go down to the scouts here. No, Fez notices. Might be able to save most of them. Thanks to his allies' help over here. So GDR have been using their scouts and mobility to buy time to wall off at home base. We'll see if that pays off for them. Also cleverly walling towards the edge of the map like this, not using the shallow shoreline like TCP did. This is open. This wall is. You can't even use the dock as part of the wall here because you'd still be able to pass next to and through the shallows. So Hopsy needs to wall all the way to the edge of the map, maybe in between the woodlands here to keep the aggression away from that angle. There's some TCP in the castle age now. Armor for the Guerreros coming in as well. Going to benefit these scouts. Maybe not likely to get the light cav upgrade here, but the Shiribamshas are out, and that should be a good help in dealing with the crossbows as they dodge the arrow fire. That is the first volley of arrows. You'll need quite the group though to really benefit from that. But Marklanders, wave of crossbows, definitely going to go down to the camels and scouts here, no matter what. It's not large of a group to survive this. Finds a choke point, but still the cavalry are able to get some hits in. We'll be looking at some decent trades here, but the cavalry are allowed around them. Yeah, that should be a cleanup. There's the castle for Griffiths as well. Third stable coming up for the Berbers. 15% cheaper cavalry. Could even out the numbers here and looks to be going mainly for the camels here, which makes sense when there are camels and Shirumamshas mainly on the field, no knights or whatnot. Let's see, the camel numbers are still advantage for Astra here. Could get that reinforced by good yards as well. So the camel numbers should, even with the faster Berbers production, should even always favor TCP here. 3 round shots mixed in as well. They just move beastly fast. 176 movement speed. Sapien Fest now in the castle age as well. Looks like he's preparing the cavalry archer switch. 25% discount on the cavalry archers for the Huns. Good chance that some of the relevant upgrades are already in. At least we have bloodlines, so boosting the cavalry archer hit points by 20. Meanwhile, JDR improve mode again, playing the golds and stones back of the base. They're not really benefiting from it just yet, but as you see, the theses are popping up north and south here. But will they survive the raids? They are actually keeping up with the military numbers so far, especially since TCP's armies are partly on the water as well. Arguably an overinvestment on Hopsy's side, but it did distract Marklanders in the early game, of course. Circus Gold income, we could be looking at some great kills if they were to golds, but Marklanders is here with the wave of crossbows to keep the camels and Shirivamshas away. The Shirivamshas really not in the mass needed to clean up crossbow lines. And besides, there are camels here as well, which would quickly deal with the Shirivamshas if they are allowed close enough. Allowed to get close enough. They are convincing military situation now here. It's their home map after all. Can't really make some transport ship shenanigans up north for TCP either, because they've walled cleverly topside, and once again making use of that open space for Marklanders up tops will lose some hit points to the tower fire, but catching Hopsy by surprise a little bit here perhaps. Now actually one way of... Maybe you could... you'd still need to wall in between the woodlands and to the edge here to prevent this from happening. Yeah, some reinforcements are going to need here. Maybe it's some siege defense. Couple of scorpions, not too bad of an idea. There's 15 crossbows, so you're going to be dependent upon getting some great hits in. Meanwhile, south side, camels and crossbows diving in at Sapien Fest's TC here, obstructing the gold income. Speaking of gold and resources, gold income not great for TCP here. The overall resource income seems better for GDR. They've established a population lead again now, 30 military more. Good surround there, Shuramchas diving in on the crossbow group. So Marklanders can lose some numbers quickly here. Great fight for the Scorpions, good surround. Very good value for this group of units. And freeing up the armies to move down south and take part in the big fight over here. With the blue armies joining in, this could be a decent fight for TCP, but for now they're massively outnumbered and will take some military losses as a result. Defensive castle at the golds over here as well. Good claiming of the map for GDR at home base. Open field in the middle for both sides to claim. But you're going to need military on the field as well, and GDR are doing better at producing and remassing those armies. Yeah, so with the blue armies joining in, suddenly the fight is looking a lot more even. Slight hit points advantage for TCP at this point, and the cavalry archers can hit and run as well. Some raids topside as well that need to be dealt with. Good hit on the woodline for Griffiths, who's splitting up the Berbers armies, playing the Berbers like the Berbers should be played perhaps, using that mobility on the cheap cavalry to claim larger parts of the map. Definitely a huge advantage in the economical department for GDR now. We also have the Vietnamese going for the Imperial Age. Are we looking at a unique unit switch here long term perhaps? Marklanders is committed to the crossbows for now, keeps double range crossbow production consistently here. And we'll back off with the armies for now to get that Arbalest and Bracer upgrade for this group down south, which could make for some great raids, even with the small group down south and the camels being dealt with. But at what cost for TCP? Sapient Fest, lots of villagers here, and it's 60-70 villagers advantage for GDR at this point. Once again pulling the armies back home to fight the remaining raiding party. Good defensive castle here on the farming economy. Cavalry archer numbers looking good for Sapient Fest. Still keeps hitting and running, and got the appropriate upgrades in here. Missing ballistics though, which is crucial for the accuracy of the... That must be a pattern mistake. Crucial for the accuracy of the cavalry archers. Camels could always outrun them though. Small margins, but enough to get away. On the defensive castle down south, but the crossbow mass here. Bracer is in, Arbalest is not, so Marklanders' economy not as good as you'd hope for. Chemistry coming in as well. Once again, Hopsy scrambling to get that castle up. Shiramsha Riders joining in, considering that the Arbalest upgrade isn't quite in yet, and Chemistry also isn't in. This is a fight worth taking for the Shiramsha Raiders, especially if you could get this around here. Cavalry Archers joining in as well, going to clean up that mass, going to clean up the Yellow Knights as well, so the Khmer Knights going to go down here. This castle will complete, not much the Khmer Knights or the crossbows can do about that. Good fight for TCP, still behind the military, massively behind the economy. That just means that GDR will have an easier time replenishing the army mass. And potentially closing out the game through military dominance. For a late Imperial game between these two civilizations, they all have access to think almost all of them have access to hussars, except for the Vietnamese. But Vietnamese would have access to Imperial Skirmishers for the full team. And Berbers give the team Janitors as well, which I suppose could be used for raids or countering the cavalry archers even. Camel archers are being made, by the way. That's like the ultimate cavalry archer counter, so that's a great move by the Berbers. 2 castles pumping out those cavalry archers. Looks like the unique technology is in for the Berbers as well, because they're producing quickly, or maybe it's not. So if Kashba, the unique technology for the Berbers, gets researched, he will also produce the unique unit 30% faster. Huge masses of army from Marklanders over here. Arbalest now in just missing the last attack upgrade. Won't really need to stress that for range masses. Hopsy wins is on his own here against this huge chunk of military, while his teammates keep sneaking closer and closer to the opposing side. Sapien Fest will be looking for weak spots here to enter to get some cavalry archer raids in, but might have been needed more at home base here to keep the armies away from Hopsy's home base. Hopsy going to take some losses here, and Hopsy also on the way to the Imperial Age here, going to take a massive hit while on the way there. Look at the worker efficiency just going lower and lower. Village on the way for the Khmer, and the Berbers as well will allow 4 trebuchets to be produced from the castles down south. Let's have a look at the cavalry archers. Cavalry archers not quite where they need to be yet. 6 cavalry archers out and about, only far from critical mass. Cavalry numbers also far from critical mass. There we have the camels, but again the camels need to get close to the cavalry archers to do proper damage. Their pierce armor isn't anything notable. This group Arbalest has picked on the eco units. Maybe they could have gotten even more value, but they did idle quite a bit of Hopsywin's economy. They're staying relatively close to the camels here. Let's see Arbalest trade against the cavalry archers here. 69 cavalry archers on the field and counting. Still not over for TCP, but they're taking a beating at home base. They really need to hit the opposing side ASAP to even this game out. And now all of the cavalry archers are being pulled home. If they clean up the armies of GDR, maybe they can reclaim their position somehow. But then again, we have Astro still in the castle age here, having lost more than 40 builders during the course of this game, and doesn't really provide nearly enough military here. We're going to struggle against full Imperial Age armies on GDR. And even if GDR loses this army mass, they're still consistently producing behind it at home. I have no idea why Marklanders is adding militia at this point. Maybe just a misclick. Seems to be mainly halberdiers here, which makes sense as against a full-on cavalry investment here from the opponents. With our grey friend just clicking Imperial Age and struggling with the never-ending raids. GDR take the 2-1 on their first home map of Maghreb. Opting for slightly less mobility than TCP, but a strong combination with the Arbalest and the mobility of the cavalry units. Marklanders several times using the open area up top, didn't really care much about that tower. And able to hit Hopsy Vince and the other players from the backside with small groups of armies while staying together with the team for the rest of the fighting. In the middle and south. Better broom for GDR as well. Their walls did pay off in the end. Barely lost any villagers. Don't even see the fishing ships. Only 2 fish for Marklanders, so that naval investment was basically just a debate to force Hopsy to invest more. What do we have here? Hans, Kuriaras, Hindustanis. No, they didn't win. They lost this one. Whereas Max Power's team had the Khmer, the Vietnamese, and the Berbers. Maghreb is down. Wait. Haven't we had Socotra as well? We haven't had the Adriatic, we've had Socotra. There we go. Which means we're going to Adriatic Islands next, at least most likely we are. Dravidians, Japanese. Georgians, perhaps? Not seeing any obvious cavalry civilizations here. Whereas for Max Power's team, Saracens, Byzantines, and then Franks. I wouldn't play Franks for Compass, I don't think. So Franks, Saracens, Byzantines would be a reasonable combo here. No Franks. Saving Franks for Compass if they're being played at all. And also no Saracens. 2 last maps involving a lot of naval play, so... Curious to see what they bring us next. And it looks like Compass is the next one. No rules against picking your opponent's home map, saving your own home map for last, so that seems to be what they've gone for here. Starting in the middle with a transport ship and all of your villagers. You want to drop the dock ASAP, of course, because it's a nomad start. You can afford both a dock and a town center. And you want to get to the mainland to get started as well. Looks like everyone starts with fishing ships, so even more important to get that dock completed ASAP so that your fishing ships can drop off the food and you can get started. Hopsy and Marklanders settling on the left side, so they're going to be sharing the left side area here. Could be a Socotra style, battling it out here since they're so close to each other. Do they know it? They might not. Top side, we have Sapien Fest settling with the Vikings up north. Got some hunt to take here. There's plenty of golds and stones on either of these 4 islands, or what should we call them? Peninsulas, perhaps? We don't know what's on the other side of these corners, so let's assume that's land. Right side, Medtar Suslu with the Italians also settling. Oh, TCP already claiming 3 areas potentially here, whereas GDR sharing the south side and will also be able to establish some boom here most likely together. But they're also cut off from their teammate, right? And you will need boats to send your armies of villagers over here to help your teammate. No shallows, no crossings around here. You do start with a transport ship though. Reef is scouting Mertar Suslus landing. Which aren't villagers at all, it's just the sheep. Maybe he's trying to convert the sheep, I don't know. You can't really drop off the sheep with the other player's transport ship in the line of sight, because then that transport ship will convert the sheep. So funny. Fun start to the game. Food sources seem a little bit on the low side. Some boars on either side of the compass here. But obviously there's the fish, so there shouldn't be any huge struggles for food income. TCP seems to have been earlier up with the town centers, and they've also added some more fish. Could be interesting to see the food overview. Here, Griff is struggling big time for food here. Does some builders will be running idle shortly, I think, because of the... I mean, there's fish being brought in, but only 2 fishing ships as well. Will, at the very least, have to force drop food here to keep production going, I think. Well, Goldner is here. Good to see ya. Right, so Loom to not risk running idle TC for too long. Not sure if the others have opted for Loom just yet. They haven't really needed to. I'm speeding this up a little bit because the nomad starts are on the slower side. Water control is going to be of significance here, although Mark Landers and Topsy will also be battling it out on land here. Our Dravidian's friend going for a range, going for some early archers here. Going to... I mean, that's not exactly hidden, that archery range. But you have to be careful with where you drop your archers out as well, because if they drop next to spawn on the wrong side or ungarrison on the wrong side, then suddenly Warlanders can just take them out with the town center. I don't know where these guys are going. Could be some kind of tower approach. Only 18 population up here, so nice and early for Hopsy. Scouting for gold, of course, for the archers production. Missed this by just 1 tile, unfortunately, so has to walk quite a bit to get to the gold over here. Do we have any military investment on water? TCP going pretty heavy on water. So 2 players going for the galleys. Not a bad call at all. They'll be taking out lots of the food income of their opponents and potentially, or most likely, forcing early farming from the opposing side. Just a few late for Mark Landers as well, finally. Did manage to get there with 0 idle TC time at a 21 population total. Just now dropping the barracks. Will probably try to get into skirmishes here to defend. He's already on stone as well. Could be some tower defense at work here. He's also trying to wall. Hopsy wins out. Slowly getting there as Hopsy goes for a preemptive defensive tower on the gold. He has to, because this is the only, as far as he knows, that's the only place he has access to gold on his side of the map. Although there's this one and this place for that. Alice successfully taking out quite a few fish here. 5 eco losses for Griffiths already. Idle Thousanders time. Sliding away here for GDR. They're really struggling for food. And they're struggling even more as the fishing ships go down. Second dock here for Nonna Di Heidi. For fire galleys to try and deal with the galley raids of TCP, but TCP with 8 galleys out and about already, and there are only 2 fire galleys for the other side. Griffiths with infantry investment here from the Koreans, so kind of a men-at-arms, archers situation on the right-hand side here. I don't really see that doing too much against the way Tila set up the economy here. Might force a tower on the gold here, but that's about it. Meanwhile, Opsy is just casually strolling through DC Fire here with the skirmishers. Has had the villagers pulled off from the goal, but also successfully taking Mark Landers off the stone over here. So Mark Landers does have stone for defensive towers. Could pop up a couple of towers and be fine here and stop Hopsy from getting through. Still passage over here, so but that's a long walk for Hopsy's armies, obviously. And then just to punch through the first layer of wall, but the quick house of Marklanders keeps the builders from moving through, and here comes the defensive tower as well, which will complete for Marklanders, I'm pretty sure. Fire galleys from Nonodihide, yes, and Byzantine's bonus, firing faster, yes, but not quite in the numbers you'll want. As long as Sapient Fest can keep hitting and running, or should I say hitting and floating here. Topside and then towers are here. Archers about to almost get value, but the builder survives. There's the defensive tower, as mentioned. As to be expected. Could still camp the foundation of the tower, but you need to get close enough to benefit from that. And at arms, at least one gonna go down now, at least, or almost, for Griffiths. What's the naval fight like in the middle? He keeps making galleys, only one. Dock producing currently, but look at the resources as well. Teal and Green are getting dangerously close to that Castle Age click, and they've both been investing in naval armies. They are taking out the fish, diminishing the food income of GDR. Still didn't start farming, that could be an issue. And a demo should of course never be able to take out the ranged unit that is galleys, but did get a decent hit in there. So, GDR very much on the defensive here. Tower defense for Marklanders, delaying any transition to the next stage. In fact, Hopsy is delaying himself as well, but he's delaying it for his teammates to claim the water in the middle, and they'll just need to survive past this to push back with his two teammates now on the way to the Castle Age. Could be pretty much an immediate war galley research on Bodkin for the Vikings, which makes it a lot easier to deal with the feudal age fire galleys of Nonodihide. Not quite there yet for the Castle Age click. Not too far away, missing about half the food, but did lose some of the fish. And still didn't start farming, relying on sheep and berries on land instead. Which is fine, but this is slow trickle of food. That sets back your progression quite a little bit. Markland's just securing all the resources here, or so he thinks, but Hopsy hopefully will eventually spot the gold over here. It's been just one tile away from finding that gold, and there's one near the edge as well, so he's got really unlucky here. That's right on where he's scouted, just very unfortunate. Fargal is getting some value here. There are 12 of them, but Bodkin Arrow is in for the Vikings galleys as well, and even without War Galley, they could take decent fights against the Byzantines. Fire galleys over here. Teal needs to evacuate, but gets joined by Sapient Fest from behind, and numbers-wise, they are at a great advantage here. War Galley still 20 seconds away, but you can hit and run. Bodkin is in, so you deal more damage and have more range. Shouldn't be any huge issue here. Castle Age didn't give Mertarsusli too much though. Losing all of the galleys here. We'll have to deal with the aggression on land from the red player. But in the meantime, Sapient Fest has the galleys claiming control over the waters, and maybe we don't need any naval presence of the Italians here for now. Never like playing this map. Yeah, it's a chaotic one for sure. I think I've only played it once myself. Great aggression and damage here from Griffiths, to be honest. Foxy looking for some revenge here. Will only run into towers, and you can't really cap the foundation of the towers either, because they are walled in by Marklanders. Somehow making it to Castle Age. Will also... Nope, he spent too much stone on towers, so he won't be able to afford any castle anytime soon. Otherwise, he could castle drop Hopsy's starting location. Hopsy relocating to the top though, which is uncontested by GDR's side. So now that sort of got 2 peninsulas each here. Water is under TCP's control. But it's going to be increasingly harder for GDR to move between the areas here now that Sapien Fest has this kind of Vikings longboats on the waters. Some defensive siege would be useful here for the Italians maybe, but it could be a resource issue. Pretty low on the resource frontier for Mertarsuslu here. But yeah, just a couple of Scorpions would deal with these Feudal Age archers, no problem. Speaking of Feudal Age, Griffiths just kicked Castle Age, last player to click up. But the damage has certainly been done on this side. No careening yet for none of the Heidis Fire Galleys. I think Sapien Fest still has the numbers advantage by good margins here. Yeah, most being added could be scary if they get close enough. But if spotted, the galleys should have, or war galleys should have no problem taking them out. Fire Galleys now, still numbers advantage for TCP. Trying to focus fire the weak ones. Enough to one-shot the Fire Galleys here. Great fight again for Sapien Fest. His bolting skills are on point. Taking some damage from the demolition ships there, but not nearly enough. Marklanders has opted for skirmishes here. Why not? They're fighting basically a 1 vs 1 on this side. There's not going to be any cavalry or melee units meddling in here. I think Marklanders is in a better spot than Hopsy, or seemingly so, but Hopsy has relocated to the north and is collecting plenty of resources over here. Could go for tower defense, could keep making siege units as well. Resource setup. More even than Marklanders' as Marklanders has gone into elite skirmishes for defense. Monks for Mertarsuslu over here against ranged units. I'm not too sure about that. They have more range than monks, but they move more slowly as well. All the Hyde is still not giving up on the naval fighting, as the docks still alive, but how long will they stay up with the insistent pressure from Sapien Fest over here? Longboats increasing in mass as well. Probably the reason Vikings have been picked for this one, to have longboats to dominate along the shoreline and the waters. Meanwhile, a massive siege push from Hopsy on Marklanders' side. 2 town centers, yes, but Marklanders not really with any means to withstand this siege push. He's opting for mangonels of his own. Where is that siege push? It's over here. Could get a lucky shot and take a 1 for 2 hit over here. Yeah, that's good. That's going to be a 1 for 2 hit. No, Hopsy is on point. Does not let Marklanders have pleasure of a... Ah, he gets a 1 for 0 though, so good mangonel micro there from the purple player. Defensive castle to keep the siege from pushing further. Will the mangonels get close enough to take out the building builders? Probably not. 1 for 0 again. Great mangonel micro from Marklanders over here. Amazing value. 1 mangonel taking out 3. And the defensive castle has been spotted. Crossbows can't really deal with that, especially not with elite skirmishers meddling in here. Longboats want to take out the docks here at a rapid rate. They fire so quickly. No point in investing into any more naval military here. Scouts trying to get to the mangonel here. Let's see if there are any panic repairs gonna happen here. Misses the crossbow group. Mangonel against mangonel. Again, good mangonel micro from GDR's side. Work for the repairs and pulling the crossbow group away to maybe sneak around and try and find damage elsewhere. Opposite finding an entry point again here against Marklanders, who opts for another defensive tower, but now with this group mass of crossbow, you could probably just camp this tower foundation and be fine with it. Castle is up, organ guns them probably at some point for Marklanders here. Needs to be in a significant mass to deal with a group of 16 crossbows like this though. Yeah, I think Hops is just going to camp the foundation now. Take out the tower. And take out the villagers once they pop out. Some elite skirmishers moving over. Almost fully upgraded, but only 4 of them, so that also shouldn't really be a threat over here. Oh, great mangonel shot from Bertar Susli over here. Diminishing the armies of Griffiths by good margins there. Only 7 crossbows left now. Two mangonels pushing from the red player. Does not want to give up on the pressure here, but losing even more crossbows. Gonna lose the last one perhaps as well. Who wins? 1 crossbow or 1 mangonel? Who wins? Oh, such a micro nerd, but now opting for the repairs here for Teal. Gets a nearly hit in on the red mangonel, and finally crossbow goes down. Speaking of crossbows, where did Hops's crossbows go? They pulled back home, maybe to heal up a bit. Not gonna play any games now, just going to cast this set and then go to sleep. But hello and good to see you, Mr. Vasikli Koikoda. What does SLM stand for? Making good use of the middle area here. Imperial Age for 1 player on our team, Hopsy going imp. Which is going to be great on this side. Because Marklanders is nowhere close to the Imperial Age switch. While Hopsy is placing the 2nd castle. Need some emotional support before the university exam. Oh boy. Oh, 1 4 0 1 4 1 almost. Aim for some, opt for some repairs again. They're both just trickling in mangonels here, and Griffiths has been getting the better trades so far, but there he goes, losing one, gonna lose another one. Perhaps 1 for 1. Okay. That's a win in Teal's book for sure. Imperial Age or Hopsy. Even kind of walled in the Treb over here. As the Treb unpacks behind the archery range. Don't think Marklanders even has... I just stone to repair for a little while, but still didn't even click the Imperial Age. No way he's going to be able to contest a Trebuchet war here. not looking pretty for the purple players. Commits to some repairs regardless, just trying to buy some time over here. And speaking of castles, to the right hand side, a Korean's castle about to go up as well. But not nearly enough damage done here by the red player. Here come the Condotieros from the Vikings, because Saberfest is in the Imperial Age as well. These guys is like a budget champion. If you have an Italian teammate, you can just make the Condotieros right off the barracks without any researches. They can withstand a decent amount of rage fire. Oh, we'll see the castle actually. He'll deny the castle. He'll deny the castle. And there it is. The GG is called, of course. Marklander's about to lose the castle over here. Red and yellow, yes, they have the South Island and they're extending the boom, but they are completely surrounded by the Vikings' naval armies. Right-hand side, red pushed well, but not well enough to gain an advantage good enough for GDR to come back. We're going to a 5th game, which will be TCP's home map, Adriatic Islands. Massive KD for the Vikings, 61-18. And we had a battle between Marklanders and Hopsy, pretty even KD between them. In fact, Hopsy lost more units, but did get to the Imperial Age, something Marklanders did not. I think none of the Heidi wanted to get to Imperial Age as well to try and get some fast fire ships to deal with the Vikings, but didn't have the economy or the window or opportunity to support it. You need to get to the Imperial Age at least close to the same time as your opponent, and it was actually relatively several minutes behind. So it's not a great situation to be in. Better economy, massive economic difference here for the Vikings against all of the others. That's just what the Vikings economy does for you. And most villagers as well. All of the fish lost early on for GDR didn't do them any favors either. They were struggling for food early on, and that delays your moving through the ages quite a bit. That's Vikings, Italians, Canadians, was it? Yep. Not many great naval civilizations left. We have the Bengalis, I guess, and the Romans. Should be decent enough. Byzantines going down, Koreans going down, and Portuguese going down. Adriatic Islands. Probably going to be a Frank's pocket or back position then. Saracens for the fast firing galleys. And either of these would be good, but I think Malians for the better mobility and land would be the way to go here, even if it's their very last pick. But it could be these 3 as well. Bengalis, Japanese, Georgians then, I guess, because of the order of picking. 5th game coming in. Oh, deciding game best of 5. On Adriatic Islands. Here are the islands over here. There's some extra stones and golds and relics. Huge incentive to fight for and win the huge body of water, which is here. Plenty of deep fish as well. We could probably... Yeah, 46k food. You know, if you double click that one, that's at least 20,000 food in form of deep fish over here. Now let's have a look at what they've gone for civilization-wise. Sapien Fez with the Bengalis on the far away side. Could be setting up for a multiple town centers, Bengalis, Castle Age, let's say 5, 6, 7 town centers, and then enter the Imperial Age with lots of bonus villagers and an amazing boom at that. Bengalis, decent qualities of water as well. Their ships basically auto-heal. So that's... could pull back from fights if you're able to, and then regain your hit points. In the middle you have Georgians for Astro. Long term thinking about the Monaspa, probably, the unique cavalry unit from the castle, which in groups together with cavalry or together with other Monaspa are given an attack boost up to +5 attack, I think, or something like that. Somewhat comparable to the Lithuanian's relic bonus, but you are dependent upon keeping them in large groups to benefit from that. Then again, you could split a Monaspa together with, for example, Light Cav or Knights in other places and still benefit from some extra attack. So they could be used cleverly in that regard to still benefit from the bonus on multiple sides of the map. Hopsy wins with the Japanese in the front position here. Faster attacking infantry, cheaper resource drop points making it easier to claim water early on, and faster and stronger fission ships. Faster work rate, stronger in terms of hit points. For GDR, we have Griffiths here in the red as the Saracens, faster firing galleys. Has got the market to trade resources more efficiently and at better trade rates than any other civilization in the game. So that can be used to tweak your economy early on. The market is also 100 wood cheap. Franks in the middle here for London Heidi, going to play kind of a pocket position here, maybe open scouts depending on how the game develops here, because it's a relatively easy wall off here for Hopsy to eliminate any early scouts aggression from happening at that angle. And finally, Malay it is for Marklanders, so not the Malians after all, but the Malay. 66% faster up through the ages. Makes the Malay a powerful civilization on any map, but even more so on water where the naval army timings to get to the naval army production as early as possible plays a big role. But could also make for easier comebacks on water for the Malay with their faster uptimes. So let's slow it down a little bit. Barracks spotted, indicating that Hopsy is probably going for the archers here. And GDR is sending all of their starting scouts to the opposing side. Only one player of GDR has docked. Not sure if I'm loving that, because there's so much fish to be taken. Everyone should be docking on this map. I cannot understate, or I can't emphasize enough the importance of water on this map. It's more than 25% of the map, almost 50% of the map. Let's say 30% of the map is naval relevance here. So you need to dock. Just don't expect to win this map by playing land exclusively. You're going to need a massive fuck up from the opposing side for that to work. It is the scout zone from the Franks player. I'm wondering if we're going to see some Castle Age investments behind this from TCP. Wouldn't be unheard of for the Bengalis, but the Bengalis actually going for water from the back here, going for some galleys. There are galleys from Marklanders as well, 2 docks from the Malay player. Let's have a quick look at the uptimes here just to see. Yeah, they're just 3 seconds apart, but that also means that the Malay player with the faster uptime is going up at a higher and healthier population. Could make it easier to keep consistent production behind it. Quick gate? Quick gate? No. Gate? Market? Market will do. That should be fine. I wonder if that militia was maybe a misclick from Griffiths' side. It's not really going to provide much. Maybe he was thinking about Men-at-Arms Archers approach here. But this market certainly buys enough time to get the walls up. You could place a layer of stone walls behind this as well. It is a massive builder's investment. But then again, you could say that GDR have invested a lot in the water. You can see the ship slowly healing back into the original 8 points. So that's why Bengalis will be picked on these water maps. They could... It's slow, but it's still auto-healing, which is pretty neat for maps involving extended water play. Still only Malay docks here for GDR, which means that TCP should be getting a significant eco advantage soon enough. Aggression from the Malay, to be fair. The galley count better for... Funny, another... Wait, is that a team bonus? Is the Bengalis team bonus? Oh, okay, it's not garrisoned. I thought the fishing ship was garrisoned for a moment there, but it just never left the dock yet. That explains it. Sapien Fest forced to pull back. He played some amazing boating in the previous map. Marklanders thankfully not paying attention there. That's one fishing ship that should be dead, which isn't. So also getting to the cast stage well ahead of Sapien Fest well ahead of Sapien Fest, as Sapien Fest hasn't even clicked yet. Could be a tough one to fight against the Malay here when they are approaching the cast stage already and are just slightly behind in numbers. Let's see if Sapien Fest can take a fight here. When he sees the cast stage kicking in, he knows he has to commit. There we go. Wait, he's pulling back? Oh, I'm not loving that. Feel like he should have taken that fight. There are some weak ships here as well. He could have diminished those numbers before the upgrades kick in, rather than inevitably losing the fight up top because of Castle Age now being 2 minutes away. Huge window of opportunity for Marklanders to fight with stronger masses over here. Scouts and archers on land for TCP here now. Georgians and Japanese working together with that one. Where are the scouts of the Franks? They are almost non-existent because the castle age is on the way for the Franks player, but that can be said about Astro as well. Georgians now going to the castle age, having invested less in feudal age military overall, able to get up earlier. That tower is really not necessary at this point. Why not just... I guess it's because he's still stuck in the feudal age. Also looks like Sapien Fest is going to get away with the castle age here and get to War Galley and Bodkin Arrow and whatnot. Speaking of War Galleys, just now kicking in with 4 Marklanders, so the upgrade's getting delayed. Hello Jade, welcome. Oh! Oh! It's open! And now Astro dives in with the scouts and knights, only +1 defense for those. Why the heck is this open though? Just a quick check, has that been open the whole time? No, they broke through a house, okay, that explains it. I missed that while looking at the boating. Okay. So we'll need a new tile of stone wall there, but Marklanders keeps the War Galley close to prevent that from happening. Castle Age is in, War Galley, Bodkin coming in. Sapien Fest with better numbers than the Malay player now. The Malay player who has also invested into fire ships at this point. Going to go more on the defensive from here. It's mainly the naval battle that's going on here. 27 to 20 something, 21 maybe for GDR here. Upgrades wise, similar. There's the gas stage for the Saracens as well. Another range going up on land, crossbow on the way. Numbers wise, they've diminished the Japanese archers by in the numbers by quite a bit, but cavalry is slightly ahead for Georgians. Again, self-healing units for the Georgians. Slowly healing back into original hit points. I wonder if it applies to the knights as well. It does. So that's even slower than the self-healing of ships for the Bengalis, but again, it's something. If you pull them away from the fights, you're going to get back to full health at some point. If you stay out of the fighting for long enough. Team Sapient. Yeah, we like Sapient Fez. He's a nice guy. I met him at Land Madness last year and the year before, actually. Good fella. Hopsy as well. He's there as well. No Land Madness this year in Britain, unfortunately. Venue wasn't available, so that's sad. Otherwise I would be there this year as well, for sure. Great Britain community is full of nonsense, but it's the good kind of nonsense. They're a fun bunch. Oh, you met him as well. Nice. Yeah, it's an easy fight for Sapient Fest to win. Just look at the numbers here. It's numbers. It might even be upgrades at this point. No, upgrades are similar, but Marklanders just can't keep up here. He's got 4 dogs producing, to be fair, but that's gonna take some while to get to a sensible number. Crossbows and knights playing defensively on land there should be keeping GDR away as well. TCP military advantage, but you have to keep in mind that half of those are on water, whereas maybe 1/4 of those are on water for GDR. Yeah, GDR look like from the stats that they're in a decent position, but actually they are about to fall behind. Oh, you haven't met him in person. Gotcha. Yeah, he streams. Sapient Fest doesn't stream, does he? But he probably chats here and there. Hopsy streams and casts frequently though. I think I like the defensive approach they're taking here. Now that tower is starting to make more sense for Hopsy as well, because when or if these armies break through, you have a point of refuge for some of the villagers. You could get some sneaky damage in on the crossbows as well. In the middle, the war galley numbers are diminishing. Sapient Fest needs to hit and run against these armies, and ideally needs to take out the fire galleys as well. A bit unfortunate. But he has the reinforcements at home, still has 31 war galleys to about 20 boats of Marklanders. Let's see if the forward armies here can do anything for GDR. Good block from Astro there, allowing Hopsy to fire from behind. I like that second tower as well. Again, keeping the gold and stone income safe, and now having 2 towers for cover fire. Oh, imagine having a couple of demolition ships inside of this one. That would be amazing. Our tower upgrade coming in from Japanese as well. Good call. Meanwhile, we're getting the +2 defense for the Georgians cavalry. Still outnumbered by the Franks here. Franks with full upgrades, so that's where Astro's Astro's been struggling in the fight as well, having missed those defense upgrades. Some quick balling going on here to try and keep the opposing armies away. They're not, and they haven't really done economic damage just yet, though, other than idling villagers. This should be okay. Hopsy is chasing. He's got more crossbows as he is fighting at home field advantage. Rewalling is on point as well. Not going to let any armies, any reinforcements through here. And I think this should be a cleanup, no problem. Giving TCP a comfortable military advantage here as Sapient Fest is slowly laying in the water more and more as well. Defensive castle for Barklanders on the shoreline now. A way to secure the docks. Docks, reinforcement of armies. But also a huge investment right now. There's 14 villagers going into building that castle. There's no such thing in the north side. Marklanders has 90 villagers, to be fair, so he's matching the economy on Sapient Faz. But it's also losing armies and will need to spend resources getting those back on track. None of them seem to struggle for resources just yet, but the military snowball is at work for DCP currently. Less cavalry on the field, more crossbows. Definitely more naval military, but Sapient Fest will need to get to the Imperial Age now and get some bomber cannons or any such equivalent to siege down castles. Could maybe commit some of the war galleys to take out the remaining fish of Barklanders. Won't have a huge have a huge impact, but it's still free food that will be contested, if so. More thousands for the Bengalis here. Imperial Age coming in. That's going to be 10 bonus villagers with those 5 translators. Great boom on land for Sapient Fest. Out booming Marklanders for sure. In their positions being relatively similar here. Griffiths struggling for the progression here. Does have military though. Will be working together with the soon to be Imperial Age Franks cavalry to try and push the top side again. Hopsy just now clicking Imperial Age, going to beat Griffiths comfortably to it, which means that we'll be seeing Japanese armalists against Saracens crossbows in that case. Let's have a look at the pretty similar. Imperial Age now in for Sapient Fez, instantly boosting that villager number as well. And immediately getting Bracer for the boats. We'll be getting Galleon soon enough as well for these armies. Marklanders is up as well. Opting for the fast fire ships to deal with what is essentially almost only war galleys, or soon to be galleons for Marklanders. Good demolition ships hits. Only 10 fire ships here, so not too huge numbers to be worried about for Sapient Faz over here. Also getting chemistry by the looks of it, which will boost the damage of the ships, but more importantly unlock the opportunity of cannon galleons or Dromons, depending on which civilization you're playing. Defensive castle for the Georgians now, we like to see that. Further fortifying the crossing over here. keeping the crossbows from engaging until the Imperial Age upgrades can be researched, of course. Imperial Age just hit. Let's see Hopsy's resources. Arbalest coming in ahead of Bracer. I'm not too fond of Arbalest first. I guess it's situational, but in my opinion, Bracer should be going first in most cases because it adds to the range and damage rather than mainly the hit points. Elite Elephant Archer for the Megalis as well. You might see an Elephant Archer's landing masterpiece here on the Adriatic Islands. CCP, they are behind the economy, but they're also ahead in progress to the Imperial Age, and they have the military advantage here as the fully upgraded Japanese arbalests are ready to engage. Still all stuck with Saracen's crossbows for another 2 minutes at least. Plenty of cavaliers for the Franks here. Some Monaspa mixed in as well, which should boost the stats of the Monaspa. 12 plus 3, 12 plus 2. For every 5 cavalry units, I think it is, the Monaspa gets an added +1 attack. Good proc point between the stables here for the Arbalists to engage. Naval fighting still going strong. Carabinning obviously in a while ago for Marklanders. And manages to catch up with the Galleons, so fighting heroically back on water here, forcing Sapient Fest to remass some kind of naval military. Yes, he made a cannon galleon to eventually deal with this castle, but at this point, maybe drop another few docks and pump up those galleon numbers again and wait with the Elephant Archers. It would be wise for the Japanese player to fish for a food source at this point. I guess they're not feeling too safe on the water yet to do that, but it will always be wise for the Japanese to fish here. It's a food source that's harder to raid, and it's so much faster for the Japanese as well. I like that they're taking the side islands, but I also like the attention of Marklanders here, spotting that to the side and committing some fast fire ships to that area to at least obstruct the Golden Comb a little bit. Switch to more of a land focus for TCP now. Elite Elephant Archers not in deadly mass just yet, but they are still, if they get in front of the Arbalesters here, it's going to be the most tanky meat shield ever. Arbalest is in for the Saracens as well. Better economy for the Saracens, arguably, than for Hopsywin's Japanese. But in pure military mass on land at this point, I still think TCP might have the edge. Because there isn't really any land military from Marklanders. That's a castle for the Franks. Franks have cheaper castles, 25% cheaper in the Imperial Age. And Marklanders has somehow been able to reclaim water. Power of the Malay right there. Good call with the defensive castle plan, he made it. And it's also claiming the plentiful resources on the side. Opting for stone first for more castles. He might have run out of stone at home base then. Still some stone to be gathered here potentially. No Hopsy. So stopping by. Good set. It's good when it goes to the 5 games in the best of 5. Oh, double defensive castles for Sapient Fest here. He wants to get back on water, alright. Or at least keep any Marklanders' aggression away. Neutral stones and golds. Effectively assumed by Marklanders. Can the fast fire ships... Oh! Okay, he deleted the foundation, so Astro didn't lose a stone there, I don't think. I hope your name is a spoiler for this game. It's a good fight, alright. Fighting for the neutral resource to the left. But trade line forming on land for TCP as well. And they are, in fact, attempting to get the full right side trade line going. Stonewall's going up here, but there's a little something here from the other team to meddle around with that light cab research by Nono Di Heidi. Have a look at the military situation though. It's 30 more military for TCP. Maybe Mark Landers is more needed on land at this point. He could use the cannon galleons to take out some defensive fortifications and production capabilities on land, but it's limited. Let's have a look at the military situation here. Should still be many numbers and hit points advantage for TCP. Are we producing on water? Not yet for Sapient Fest, but has secured the docks now for now. Going to double up on the production, maybe get some demolition. Yeah, he's going for fast fire ships of his own, probably a good call. As a Frank's Castle tries to get up on the side, and look at the trade line going through the gate over here. That's such a weird trade path. No way that castle completes though. This is where the big fight is at, though. More pieces to the side for Mark Landers. Yellow managed to get over here as well, so they are boosting their late game resources. Barely any gold income, which will have their productions effort. They've committed to full on trash now. Last game, they're both fighting for the event win here, the playoff win. And the economic situation is undoubtedly ahead for TCP over here. Military situation even low, so this could go either way. What's the trade number situation? 28 trade units for Sapient has, which could show in the gold income as they go. And the trade is running uninterruptedly for the time being. Even being in a tiny bit of... There is a staple in the trade line, actually. So they managed to complete that one. But this is the most important part at this point. Fast fires from Sapient Fest going to clean up the remainders of these armies, aren't they? Saracens player, no gold income, would have the market to remedy that though. You could sell some of your food for decent rates. That's going to be the end of the naval armies for Mark Landers from now. Does commit to fast fire ships again. But I don't feel like Sapient Fest is over-committing either. It's committing mainly to land, but fielding some fast fire ships as well. Maybe just to keep the opponents occupied. I guess if you add some cannon galleons, if you're Sapient Fest here as well, you could easily deal with whatever is over here. And then what remains is just push the land area and have a look at the military situation. It's dominance for TCP now. It's 100 more military and they're reclaiming water and winning land at the same time. further and further on land here. A couple of trebuchets to push, and now guard towers to further assume the map and make pushing back harder for GDR as well. Do we have any fortified churches here to boost the economy? We do as well. Another one of the Georgians. Smart bonuses. Spartanus refuses to give up water, and with good reason. They need to keep those neutral resources going to have consistent gold and stone access. And they are bringing it in. It's only a matter of time now until Sabian Fest's armies can clean up this area, and with that area lost for GDR, I don't think there's any coming back because they desperately need that gold, whereas TCP, they don't need that area because they have a good trade line running on land. Also still more naval armies from Marklanders here. It's doing great work to keep that naval control, keep that gold stone income running, but the land armies suffer as TCP keep a consistent 100 military lead. And we also have more land armies from Sapien Fest with the elite elephant archers. Few, but population effective with their massive hit points. 18 elephant archers with 5,400 hit points total. Some Hussar raids at work here from the Georgians as well. Really diminishing in the economic capabilities of GDR. About 70 trade units bringing in the resources on land as well, so keeping that consistent gold income. Stone walls now upgraded to fortified walls makes it virtually impossible for GDR to raid the trade lines of TCP. So having lost access to the neutral resources, not that big of a deal for TCP, as they were able to establish gold income through trade on land. Great finals as subservience, I have to say, I agree. That is a 3-2 for TCP, aka Toxic Sim Pickers, taking the 3rd division win. A great final set. GG well played and well fought by Marklanders indeed. Good calls on water there, but land military suffering as a result. Quite comparable economies between the Bengalis and Franks here. Significantly faster cast rate for Marklanders, but still not making enough of that faster cast rate. And Sapien Fest also choosing not to fight, which was peculiar to me, but since Marklanders didn't push back with the cast rate armies early enough, Sapien Fest was able to get and upgrade the numbers 3 minutes later. So that's the 3rd division final. Hobbs' team win Adriatic Islands, ending up with a 3-2. One, two. Anyway, I won that one. Bengalis, Japanese, and Georgians against Franks, Saracens, and the Malay. That was 3 Victory League Season 8, Division 3. And a... something like this. Oops, not 11. 3-2 result for the final winners.